Okay, well, welcome back. Today, hopefully we got some better audio going on here. I don't know about how good completely. I haven't ran all the tests and I haven't adjusted everything yet. Hopefully better than what I had before. Hopefully I don't move around as much, so to speak, like out of the microphone range and what have you. Now, I'm still going to keep the old microphone around, or at least one of them. So that way, if we need to hear noise, something like that, I could just plug this in. Right now it's unplugged. It's not in the mix, literally not in the mixer. And I get to keep it more up out of the way right now, which is kind of nice. This is the Saramonic. No, the microphones are the Saramonic. That's what you're listening to me on right now. It's the Saramonic RX9, yeah. I'll probably do a little review on those later. This is the kit that I bought from Amazon. This was my discussion about how to pick the right gimbal, or pick the gimbal that meets your needs. I do like the little tripod it came with. The tripod is just sturdy. I mean, it is really a nice chunk of metal. It's really not going nowhere. I can move my whole bench with it. That is something else. So yeah, really nice tripod. I don't know if I could buy this separately. Came with one of these little spring, a cleaning kit from Perrier. I don't know that. The cleaning kit at first, I'll be honest with you, I saw this and now I'm just looking at the lines through this plastic bag and I'm like, what is this, underwear, panties or something? I mean, well, no, it's actually white gloves, lint-free cloth, a duster actually. This is to dust off lenses completely. Never even had a chance to try out the GoPro bracket. I don't know what to tell you. It seems like it would be a proper counterweight. The screws are long. They do have some good, really nice thumb screws, thumb pieces on the end. So that's nice too. I'm kind of rushing this because I just want to kind of get back to the store. Well, not to the store, but it's going back to Amazon. So got to get over to the UPS store, I guess. First impressions, nice little violin. Came nicely wrapped. You have your charging cable. You have a cord here that you can use on the violin case. You have your charging cable here, micro USB, standard. Came with an actual instruction manual. Okay, well, that was nice. Has all kinds of, different possibilities, different ways to set it up, different accessories. Shows you how to go through it. It wasn't hard to get used to. It wasn't hard to learn. I wasn't quite at the point after using it for an hour where I had the buttons all down, and it's upside down. But I was getting there. A few more times, I would have remembered what button did what function, and what mode to put it in, and how to tell what mode it was in. I was trying a few of the different apps. The case is perfect for it. It's a perfect fit. I would not worry about this case. The nice thing is even the way I had it currently configured and adjusted, it fit perfect for my phone. So the way I had it set up for my phone, it was able to go right back into the case, no problem. Can't complain about that, because that way I don't have to balance it every time I pull it out and put my phone in. And it worked for the balancing, actually, the way it was set up right now, even, was good for the iPhone 10, the iPhone 6S, and like I said, I never got to any of my GoPros. We just never got that far. The batteries, as I mentioned, there's your 26650 down here, and I have a separate X-Star 26650 charger, well, a separate lithium charger. Takes 2 cells, will charge up to 1 amp at a time, and it's milled to the point of precision that if one of the cells had an extra wrapper on it, I had to rip it off, and I had to get all that glue off of there. Because listen to this. It was a very tight fit. Nice big O-ring here. I was certain no water was going to go getting into the battery. Never had a chance to put. Well, no, I did put it on the tripod it came with. So the thread did fit well. It was a good thread. Now on to the reason, after using it for about an hour, on to the reason why it's going back. And I literally only got in maybe a couple of hours of testing before I was done with it, it kept making this clunking noise. Now, I wrote to the company. The company came back and said, oh, it's a firmware issue. With all the brushless DC motors that I've dealt with in different devices, in drones, in RC cars, never have I heard firmware being able to fix such an issue. So immediately, even though I said this is a motor housing issue, they came back and said update the firmware. Now, I don't know if this is due to your typical tier 1 kind of response, or if they actually took the issue serious, or whatever the case is. I don't know. I'm sending it back. A little disappointing. All in all, you can see it bounced as well. Okay, so now we gotta bounce this direction too. So no matter where I put it, it stays. We gotta bounce this way. Okay, let's turn her on. And right away, I can hear the gimbal noise. I can hear the motor noise right away. One downfall, Face ID. I can't get my face in it to unlock it. Always remember to unlock your phone first. Okay, ZY Play. Launch ZY Play. Turn the gimbal on. There we go. So now we got that gimbal turned on. It's handling the way it should. Let's go ahead and switch cameras, and I'll show you why it's going back. So you see, it does do a good job. I got the motor set slow right now, so don't expect it to spin around. I don't have it turned up really fast. So this way, it does a good job. It's going pretty quick. It's really nice. Right there. There's that noise. Right there. What I found is in the back here, this motor housing is actually loose. In fact, there is quite a gap there. Quite a big measurable gap. So what you're hearing right here is the weight shift from, once it's already shifted, it won't do it again. But if I flip it over, the phone is going to put the weight downwards. If I can get it to go. And that just pulled this down. Look at that gap there. Get some more light down on that. This here is a physical issue. This is not a firmware issue. They came back with update the firmware. Update the firmware is not going to fix this clunking. But to appease, I updated the firmware. And what I found is what I expected. It's still there. It just, there's way too much of a gap there. There's a physical issue with it. This is a much better angle. This is the motor that has the loose motor housing. When you compare it to this motor here, this is actually really nice and tight. I cannot move this at all. It stays really nice and tight. And then when you go over to this housing here, this is where that gap occurs. I take it up. If I come around, click. Ooh, that was a bad one. Ah, yeah, another bad one. All right, that should be enough to prove my point. This is the motor in question right here. This is where the noise is coming from. And I noticed this after inspecting it, trying to figure out where it was. There it is. That's what it's doing right there. Look at how wide that gap goes. You can see light through there. So every time the weight of the phone shifts from top to bottom, this is what I'm hearing, is this motor shifted in and out. That is just ridiculous. And they claim that was a firmware issue. Even without that being a firmware issue, let's go ahead and play this back here. If I come around, click. No, did you see the phone shake? Ooh, that was a bad one. Look at the vibration in there. Yeah, another bad one. Let's play that again. I want to see that vibration one more time. If I come around, click. Wow. Ooh, that was a bad one. Yeah, another bad one. Alright. That should be enough to prove my point. I'm going to stop recording the video. Keep in mind, this is not past its limits. At this point, when it's doing this click noise right here, I can't personally keep something that goes click click like that. That is not a gimbal. It's off right now. It's not even turned on. None of the other motors do it. This motor right here, that doesn't do it. This motor, the one that does the 360, that doesn't do it. It's not loose. That one, so yeah guys, this one's going back. I can't justify keeping a gimbal. First, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I like the testings before I review them. Second, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know the first thing I did was updated the firmware when I opened it. It was one of the first things I did, is always update your firmware. And, you know, do some research first. Find out the latest firmware may not be the best. The latest firmware may have an issue that people regret it updating to. So then you might want to go back one version from the latest. One version from the latest sometimes actually works pretty good. Or might be more stable. But yeah, of course I updated my firmware. I've seen some ZyiYun 3 customers have issues. I've seen some videos, but they're very, very, very few and seldom with reporting motor noise. I've never seen this issue with the motor housing being loose like that before. And, you know, my thought was, when you're manufacturing things in the thousands and the hundreds of thousands, when you're making a bunch of stuff, there's quality control, and you're not going to catch every single issue. It's impossible to catch every single issue with everything, everyone, you know, every one of the things being manufactured. And this I understand. This may be a one-time, you know, issue, and I may be able to return it and get the same exact one. And when I get that same exact one, and it comes, it may not have that issue at all. But on the other hand, the ZyiYun 4 is going to be on the market here soon for about $40 less than what I paid for this. Justify keeping this, you know? And I mean, it was reviewed by number 2, because I didn't miss it. It only took within the first hour. I heard that first clunk in one of my video clips that I was recording and testing. So number 2, you missed it. I'm gonna run to UPS. We're gonna send this back to Amazon, to the seller. Let me know in the comments if you want to see the Smooth 4 review, the ZyiYun Smooth 4. If not, maybe I'll just stay away from the whole idea of a gimbal. I've already expanded on this channel so much. I've already spent so much on camera equipment and microphones, and now I'm running, you know, this is what, the third time I've changed microphones? I think about the third time. Now I'm running the wireless mics here, which, I mean, these are great. So far, I love these. I think the voice quality on this is awesome, and I think you guys are going to be able to hear me and understand me much better, especially on days where I'm stuttering too bad. Why did I choose the Ceramic over the Comica? Oh yeah, honestly, I'm thrifty. What can I say? The Ceramic was an open box. It was a dual set, so I actually have a dual receiver and 2 transmitters. And the Ceramic, since it was an open box, it was $100 cheaper than a new one. Somebody bought it, didn't like it, returned it. I don't know why. I haven't found an issue with them. They seem to work. But when I opened it up, transmitter 1 and the receiver actually had two in each. Those 2 in the receiver and 2 in the transmitter had 4 brand new end loop cells in there. So I actually managed to get 4 free end loop rechargeable cells with it. I couldn't complain about that. I mean, how can you? Free batteries, free rechargeable batteries that come with your new wireless mic system. That's great. The point of the wireless mic system is I'm hoping I can get it to sound better, or at least be able to filter the noise better with better audio pickup using this style of the wireless lavalier microphone system. My hopes in doing this though is so that I can start doing more battery videos in the basement. These battery videos in the basement will allow me, if my furnace kicks on, if my air conditioner kicks on, because unfortunately I put the battery stuff in the basement, right? So during this process, during this time, when and if that happens, this is going to be loud. Sorry. I'm going to try to cut the audio back on this one for you, but there's no other way to get this in here. Work. Maybe we'll just shove it in the end. Why don't we shove it in the end? Yeah, I'll just shove it in the end. All right. And then we'll just shove this up top of it. There we go. Let's see if we can. I got the little candy kit inside there. Lipstick. And then we can just wrap this up. Okay. So the idea behind the wireless mics, hopefully, is that I can filter some of the noise better, and you'll be able to hear me better if the furnace or the air conditioning kicks on in the basement when I'm doing the battery welds and the battery videos that I want to do, the teardowns, how to test the batteries, checking the milliohms on the batteries. And all the things around the 18650s, 26650s, the 14500s that I do, building batteries, what have you, difference between nickel plated steel or iron, how to check the quality of the nickel, stuff like that. I just couldn't start those videos yet because I didn't like the audio quality down there. So I actually bought the Ceramonic lavalier wireless mic set up for that purpose, and it happened to come with an XLR adapter, which meant I can ditch the 2 stationary mics here in my lab. So instead of having 2 mics permanently attached, one on each bench, I now have freedom to walk around the whole entire lab, keep talking, and you'll hear me. Let me know in the comments. Do you want me to? Well, there is no should I return this. This is get returned. Question is, should I buy the Smooth 4? I wasn't going to, because it seems these days every time something's new, fresh on the market, it goes through a beta phase. It's like now you have to basically let other people buy first versions and let them fix it. Hopefully everything's a firmware fixable issue, and then just sit back and watch and see how it does. This was already proven. At least the 3 was. This, like I said, might be a one-off manufacturing issue. I don't know. The 4 doesn't trick me. Despite it not having a removable battery, it actually doesn't trick me. I might be one to try the 4. I like the extra controls that it has. The ability to basically even control your white balance and your ISO from the buttons, and the way that it communicates from the control circuit in the gimbal over Bluetooth to your smartphone. That part does intrigue me. I might be willing to give it a try. Let me know. Comments down below. Enough thumbs up. I'll buy the Smooth 4. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Be safe and keep on tinkering.